Hey guys, Dabu 7, July 9th, 2013. I'm going to share with you guys some amazing charts here that are just jaw-dropping. Um, this has to do with the Star of David. Many of you are familiar with it. It's the insignia of Israel. It is the six-pointed star. It goes back in time to ancient times. You're talking all the way back to like the Tower of Babel, Nimrod. Now what has happened is there has been a Star of David alignment that has been discovered. And I believe it is a cosmic clock, like a countdown. Because it is a pattern that has not been seen in a very long time. And after this happens, it's not going to be seen for another 100 years or so. This began in 1990, and I doubt a lot of people have heard of this. And just because maybe one of you have, it doesn't mean you come on here and drop a comment saying, I already know this, and be so self-centered to think that everybody else knows what you know. Okay, we are in this together. For people that want to say that I'm losing credibility because I'm speaking on a subject like this, well, then you don't know Dabu 7 and why I'm here. Okay, you need to unsubscribe if that's not the kind of news that you want. I'm giving you the truth, and even if you're a Satanist out there that believes in this and that and don't believe in Jesus or whatever, I'm going to put the truth right here in front of your face. This is factual. They asked Jesus before he left, when will you return? The disciples said. He says, watch for the signs in the heavens, the stars, the moon, and the sun. Pay attention to the heavens. All the prophets spoke of the heavens. Revelations, the signs of in the sky, in the heavens. All of it has to do with watching the stars. So you can pay attention to minor alignments, the alignments within our solar system of all of the individual planets, but when you want to talk about things that get occultic and that go back thousands of years, where secrets are unlocked, things they do not want you to know, this is where you find this information. The Star of David countdown leads to a tetrad, a cycle that takes place in 2014 and 2015. This is only the 8th cycle of its kind that has happened since Jesus was on this planet, or the days of Jesus, that time frame. This is only the 8th cycle. And do you notice how on all these blood moons just so happen to perfectly align with these Jewish dates? With these events? They're not going to line up with the 4th of July and Christmas on our calendar, I tell you that. They've been tracking this for thousands of years, and I'm telling you right now, the sun and the moon and everything has fallen into place, and all these events, this has all been tracked and known. And this is the stuff they don't teach you in school and they don't broadcast on the evening news. You're going to have to go looking for this type of knowledge. This is a significant event that is taking place, especially March 20th, 2015, on the vernal spring equinox. We will have an eclipse. The sun, black as sackcloth, and followed by a blood moon. Very closely. You could say the same for over here, but this landing right on the equinox seems to signify a pretty significant event. But look how this is laid out perfectly. The days, the degrees of everything that falls into place during this time frame. That this isn't even the most important part that I want to speak of right now. This is very important, what's going to take place and everything that they have charted out in their events throughout this whole frame here. Into 2016, which will be 5776, okay, which will be part of the capstone, well, the basin, the bottom part of the capstone of the pyramid for the all-seeing eye. Now, when you start to look at the Star of David, the cosmic countdown, this is what I'm talking about. This event started August 8th, 1990. They called this a war star. Right after the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait happened, the Gulf War began, and they dub some of these stars war stars that take place. I'll leave links so you can come back and you can read all this. This is very important. You can see how these stars alignments have taken place when they have, and how they've jumped, doubled up, and the last and final one, the 13th, taking place July 22nd, 2013, which is within weeks away. This will be the 13th and final, and they're saying it will be a war star. It will also be situated in the sky next to the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus, this new one they just threw out there at everybody here this past year or so. And Ophiuchus was put into place on January 13th of 2011 or 2012, one of the two. So all the numbers are there. Now, when you start to look at the skies, this all has to do with the tetrahedron. The Star of David is a tetrahedron, but it's not in 3D, so you don't realize what it really means. This single tetrahedron, this single atom, this molecule, there's nothing like it in the universe. You have to understand that me and you are made of the same chemical compound as everything in this universe, which means we are all connected. It is one of the biggest secrets they do not want you to know that I keep trying to put in all my videos to make all of you realize it. We are all connected through energy. You have free will on this planet. Do as you please, negative or positive. And in the end, all you got to do is weigh your energy, negative or positive. And there's your judgment. However you want to live your life, it's all energy. It's all we all are. Atoms, particles, we're all part of the same thing. They know this, but they don't want you to know this because they control you through religion, through TV, through mind manipulation, through magic, through sigils, by lying to you, by rewriting history. They do all of this while they know what's really going on here. Now, when you want to start talking about the Star of David constellation, if you look up into the sky, you're not going to see the Star of David. You're going to see from Earth a T or a cross pattern. But when this situates, it forms between Altair, Dipta, Arcturus, Regulus, Eridaris, and Sirius. They form this perfect six-star, Star of David, in the sky. And what is crazy is you've got Orion situated in it, but the most amazing aspect that I've found is there is another six-star pattern right in the belly of this thing. Right in the heart of it, where the Pleiades sit, right next to the Pleiades, you have this six-star inside of a six-star, and this will happen July 22nd, 2013. Now, I don't know if this is some kind of portal it's going to open, if this is some kind of cosmic signature, but I'm telling you right now that the evil people running this planet that fly this banner, this star, this tetrahedron, know about this. And I'm telling you, this is going to be significant. Anything that happens from July 22nd on is going to be significant, especially if they're calling this a war star. I'll leave a link so you can read all the stuff that's on here and get caught up to speed with what's going on with it. But we are indeed approaching the 13th. And this is an 88-week span. There's an 88 and a number 8 that keeps popping up. Like I said, with this being the 8th cycle that's going to pop up since Jesus' time in terms of this cycle here. So what you have is this out of nowhere, this odd event that has been taking place that they're not speaking of, that is forming the Star of David, which they fly on their banner. It is forming this celestially, and on July 22nd, the final one's going to take place, and there's another six-star buried into the heart of it. I am warning you, this is some kind of cosmic countdown right here, before your very eyes. I want to point out a few other things here while I've got the time. I'll leave a link because when I Googled it, it brought me up to Godlight Productions. It's not the best place you want to go because you have to weed through all the BS, but this is a very good pick, and it's factual, from Stellarium that shows October 6th of 2013, and they're trying to revert to Revelation 12, where it says there will be a woman. She will be clothed in the sun, and she will have the moon at her feet, and she will have a crown of 12 stars upon her head. Well, he found that this woman was clothed, Virgo, clothed in the sun, and indeed does have the moon at her feet, and has a very curious alignment in the sky of the moon, Saturn, and Mercury, which was very intriguing. But as I dug deeper, because you got to keep digging, I found this guy. And I found that he indeed has the best date, just by using Stellarium software, from sitting in Jerusalem looking east. He has the very best date possible. He has September 21st to the 23rd, with the heart of it being the 22nd. There's always a 3-day window. I've always given that. I've always stated that. Even with earthquakes and things like that, you need a 3-day window. Okay? And the 22nd brings something amazing into play here. When you want to talk about revelation coming true, and this really happening in the sky, it happens on one day, at one event. Yeah, I just showed you one that was close, but where's the 12 starred crown on her head? Well, we found it. What you don't see in this picture here, in Virgo, the Virgin, is that Jupiter is between her legs as she's giving birth, and the moon is at her feet, closer to her feet and more below her feet than the other pic. And Jupiter is between her legs, not in the imagery of this picture, but in the constellation itself in the sky. Jupiter will be between her legs. And above her head, you will have Leo, which has 9 key stars in it. Now, when you go from Regulus and you come down, there's an amazing alignment that takes place on this day between Venus, Mars, and Mercury. They join Leo in the sky here to form a 12-star crown above her head. Perfectly. And it only happens on this date. When you want to fulfill revelation to a T, to the moon below her feet, to her being pregnant or giving birth, to being clothed in the sun, and having a crown of 12 stars on her head, that's a lot. And the odds of finding all that in one date at one time are out there. I'm telling you. And there's only one day that it happens. In the foreseeable future, that is. And that is September 22nd. 21st, 22nd, into the 23rd. 2017. So, on the 21st of September 2017, it should be a very interesting time. This guy labels his video the most logical rapture theory on YouTube, period. He's correlating this to a time frame that has to do with the rapture. It may be. That's on you guys to decide. I'll leave links to all this so you guys can study it, look at these charts, see it for what it is, see what they're tracking, what they know, why they hold their events on these days, why all this numerology is coming out. From the last star constellation we had to the very last one that's going to take place, the 13th, here within a couple of weeks on July 22nd, there will be 616 days, essentially your 666, 1 year, 8 months, 8 days, 188 or 88 weeks. So there's the 88 cycle. Also, going from November 13th, 2012, the total solar eclipse to the eve of July 22nd, 2013, 8 month, 8 days. Another 8-8 sequence. And remember that this sequence here is the 8th since the time of Jesus. I'm running out of time, but I'm going to leave you guys on this note. This is very, very interesting. That the Muslims and the Jews agree on the coming end times, and in fact say that the coming Messiah that they both are awaiting is in fact one and the same, to establish a 7-year peace pact, to do away with all violence, all weaponry on the planet. And this is coming from the scandalous Sanhedrin, this unit which is not even part of the Israeli government, but has been like their shadow government for thousands of years. They're coming out and stating that what the Muslims to believe is their Messiah, they're agreeing that it's all the same person that is about to come. You people better pay attention, because this is the Christian Antichrist. They don't believe it's Jesus coming back. This person isn't Jesus they're waiting on, I'm telling you. And regardless, this person is going to be the Antichrist. Watch the signs. The clock and the countdown is here. I'm out of time. Dabu 7. Peace.